Without women, you cannot have a family. Without family, there is no society. Happy International Women's Day. It's not just one day, but every day and every minute is yours and only yours. Namaste, this is Babita Shrestha, welcoming you to Light and Shadow, brought to you by the Third Eye Group. International Women's Day is observed annually around the world. It is a day set aside for recognizing the economic, social, cultural, military, and political achievements of women around the globe. Happy International Women's Day, Bandita.
Thank you, Ursula Penny.
It's a very sensitive topic and a powerful topic too, eh? Women's Day, Bandita. What does International Women's Day mean to you?
Well, it means more like the equality, inclusion, and togetherness in terms of building everything, equal opportunity, I believe.
Well said, Bandita. What do you think about International Women's Day 2021, theme by United Nations, Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 World?
I believe that, this pandemic, the COVID-19, has changed everybody's life, all of our life in terms of what we expect, what we are, how we perceive things. And there are many women who have been in the front line in terms of helping people as a nurse, as a doctor, as all essential workers. However, maybe the opportunity and the access are different. So I believe creating a world where although the opportunities are similar for all, at the same time, accessibilities are similar as well. So I believe that is the theme, just making everything reachable and achievable for women as well.
Perfect. During COVID, during this COVID time, domestic violence has increased. How can we address this issue and or minimize this issue?
It has been the global, international issue because it's not only here, isolated in one specific country or one specific reason. It's because, I believe this time is hard for all, and especially added to the less employment or less accessibility to thing, and then you are bound to stay together. Sometimes, if you already had the vulnerable situation, especially whenever we talk about domestic violence, it's really a sad topic because you are supposed to be the safest. That's the most dangerous for you, and you are attacked by people, like in some cases your spouse, your family, your father, or maybe your partner, where you are supposed to be the safest. And I believe it's really hard when you're forced to stay inside. It has really gone up, and it's here in US, it's in Nepal, lots of South Asian countries as well. So I don't know the answer to how we can make it less, however, what are the support system that we can provide might be a good way to address. I myself, I've worked in the, with the domestic violence victim back home in Nepal, and here I have found the different level of support system. Like here, there's a lot of support system. There's a hotline, there are resources, there are women's centers, whereas back home in Nepal, there aren't many. However, the social structure is really helpful over there because women have their sisters, their family, their neighbors to look after each other. Here, if you are isolated and if you are a victim, although you might have resources, it's really difficult for them to go out. That's why I believe we have to build a community where we look out or look after each other.
I echo with you. It's so well said. We need that platform somewhere. Bandita, you're a beautiful person, and we on the special day of International Women's Day. What does this name mean? Does it have any significance?
My name Bandita.
Bandita.
Well, I was told it means praiseworthy.
Praiseworthy.
Yes.
Nice.
It's, I think, there is this Sanskrit slok, Devai Sada Bandita, and my parents took it named me after that, and it means praiseworthy, and I like the name too.
That's nice. I love the name Bandita. It's pretty unique. I haven't heard many people.
Yeah, I only know one Bandita. She was senior to me in the school.
Okay.
Like, you know, not personally, but I've heard that name only once.
Wow, nice. Bandita, most times we're afraid of being vocal, you know. How important do you believe it is to encourage other women to stand up for their rights?
You know, I believe expressing yourself, you know, it's a very important tool that we can provide, be it a woman or, although this is a Women's Day's theme, but as a son, as a daughter, everybody has to be able to address their, like, you know, their thoughts. They have to, like, you know, I think the ability to express oneself is very, very important. And as a parent, if we can equip our children with that tool, it's going to be resourceful and, you know, useful throughout their life.
And another thing is, like, we should stand up for each other and support one woman to another woman, I think.
I completely agree, and I believe, like, you know, whenever we told earlier, we talk about the support system which we had back home. Like, for example, I always give this example, and I always believe in this. Back home in Nepal, like, for example, if you don't clean your, like, you know, gharko baira, if you don't safa garena bhane, sometimes they were like, neighbors would come in, and you're like, you know, just because you don't want your neighbors to see gharko baira fohar cha bhanera, you'd clean it. So people check on others, right? Here, if you are living in an apartment, isolated apartment, there's nobody to check on to you, and there's really likelihood of you suffering, like, you know, bhitrai basera isolated bhera suffer गर्ने chances haru badi cha. And as a human nature too, what I have found is, even for us, you know, it's so easy to congratulate others. It's so easy to share whenever somebody is happy, to be happy in somebody else's joy. But it's so hard to find a word to say when somebody else is suffering with something. You know, when, like, there's somebody is going through a very difficult time, कसैको अब divorce भइराछ, abuse भइराछ, अथवा त्यस्तो छ भने we lack the word to say to them. So I think we need to find some, although it's not like, you know, empathy र thoughtfulness नभएर भन्दा पनि lack of expression ले होला. So I think as a woman, we need to build a community not only to party or joy or celebration matra होइन कि expression of togetherness र एकअर्काको लागि mutual support को लागि पनि.
Bandita, such a valid point. I did not think about this. We're always there out when people are, you're right, for joy, but when it comes, when you need pillars to support, we're not there sometimes.
Yeah, you know, it's not intentionally भन्दा पनि, it's sometimes we're like, we don't know what to say. And you know, हाम्रो नेपाली कल्चरमा जुन तीज एउटा सेलिब्रेसन छ नि, although it seems like तीजमा like एउटा जोयको मात्रै celebration होइन, that's basically celebration of women complaining about what they are feeling. It's more like venting out and, you know, sharing the sadness and struggle together in the time of happiness and joy जस्तो लाग्छ के मलाई.
What privileges or challenges do we generally face?
Well, privileges, well, it's difficult to define. Challenges, yes, every step of the way there are lots of challenges. Ask anybody, like, you know, you yourself is a high achiever, you've come this far, you know. Every step of the way, we know, like, you know, from the time when we were very young, college जाने time ma, like, you know, हरेक time ma, I know, like, you know, जहिले पनि as a woman, you're supposed to be, you present yourself in a particular way, you have to dress up in a particular way. There's expectations of, like, you know, every milestone expectations. So, and challenges pani, you know, about family may pani, they always, it's I don't know, it's a good thing too, because women are thought that they bind the family together, but at the same time, त्यसले नै गर्दा responsibilities-हरु पनि बढाएको हुन्छ. जस्तो, you know, as a woman, you're expected to look after your husband's side of the family, सँगको relation देखि लिएर आफ्नो side of the family पनि के. So I believe there's a lots of challenges every step the way too, but you know, being a woman and being there, it's a beautiful thing.
That's true. Talking about women, who has inspired you the most?
It's hard to say, because अहिले हामीले हेर्ने हो भने हरेक पर्सपेक्टिभमा, you know, womenको role, they're in field of medicine, in the field of science, in the field of technology, in the field of हरेक फिल्डमा राम्रो लाइक धेरै नै छ हैन. एउटा प्रोफेसनल कुनै वुमेनको मात्रै होइन कि होम मेकिङदेखि लिएर those women जसको चाहिँ ड्युटिजहरू एउटा नेपालीमा डु यु रिमेम्बर देयर इज अ पोस्टर इन नेपाल जसमा चाहिँ देयर इज वन husband is sitting on the bed and he's talking to his friends saying that my wife doesn't work outside, I wish she would work outside and make money, and at the same time there's a woman and there's lots of hands on, and women, let's say gharma, she's teaching kids, she's cooking, she's taking care of the family, and all those like even income generate गर्ने कामहरू पनि किसानी खेती गरेर पनि गरिरहेको छ भनेपछि त्यो acknowledgement कि every sector is critical र every aspect of women लाई recognize नभएसम्म holistically एउटै women को मात्रै रोल हुँदैन होला. So I believe हरेक फिल्डमा हरेक काम गर्ने womenहरू जसले चाहिँ घरमा बसेर बच्चाहरूलाई हेरेको होस् अथवा बाहिर गएर बच्चाहरूलाई पढाएको एज अ टिचरै किन नहोस्, एज अ डक्टरै किन नहोस्, एज अ जजै किन नहोस्, every women have played a significant role in development of this community.
So true. It doesn't mean you're at home. They are finance ministers, they are home ministers, they are teachers, mothers, daughters, daughter-in-laws, play a big role. So I think multiple hats here. That's a good one. Who has been your role model and what do you admire most about your role model?
I think this question definitely goes with the अघिको question सँगै नै जान्छ. So role model specific कुनै पनि जर्नीमा I read मैले धेरै बुकहरू पढ्दाखेरि पनि जस्तो अहिले recently I read one book Lean On भन्ने बुक छ. त्यसमा चाहिँ कस्तो रहेछ भने they talk about आफू मात्रै सक्सेसफुल भएर भन्दा पनि कम्युनिटीलाई बिल्ड गर्ने काम गर्ने मान्छेहरू पनि हुन सक्छन्. अब मेरो पर्सनल लाइफमा डेफिनेटली I always talk about my mom. And at the same time, my mother-in-law, who's not here at the moment, she passed around 13 years ago. She was one exceptional woman, very educated woman compared to Nepali community, Matthew Belama. But at the same time, she was not like working outside. She was more like village ma बसेर गाउँको मान्छेहरूलाई एजुकेट गर्ने एउटा लिडरसिप क्वालिटी भएको थियो. एन्ड नेपालको ट्रेडिसनल सेन्समा चाहिँ बुहारीसँग एक्सपेक्ट गर्ने कतिवटा कुराहरू हुन्छ नि. सी वाज टोटली डिफ्रेन्ट देन द्याट के टिपिकल मदर इन ल होइन, तर सी वाज एन एक्स्ट्राअर्डिनरी वुमेन. एन्ड एट द सेम टाइम प्रोफेसनल लेभलमा आई अलवेज से Sapna Didi, Sapna Pradhan Malla, she is an attorney in Nepal. When I was very young, at the age of 16, after I passed my SLC diyepachi, not even passed, SLC diyepachi, I started, going to her farm, and she gave me an opportunity to internship garner or work with her. So she provided that. And I do have a good lot of friends in harek stages of life ma. They're the one I look up to on a daily basis as well.
Nice, yeah. What role or impact would you like to play in a relationship to women's rights today?
I think सानो कुनै यदि रोल मेरो छ भने पनि I always to identify domestic violence को victimहरूको केसहरू भयो वावामा. Understand one thing, domestic violence जहिले पनि women नै मात्र victim हुँदैन. Majority of the case मा चाहिँ victim women हुन्छ, although there are male victim as well, right?
Yes.
त्यो identify गर्नलाई र आफ्नो भोइस आफ्नो एक्सप्रेस गरेर आफूले जुन कुरा पढेको कुराहरू इम्प्लिमेन्ट गर्नलाई चाहिँ आफ्नो राइट बताउनलाई वन्स आई बिकज यो लिगल फिल्डमा चाहिँ आई अलवेज कम अक्रस विथ द्याट एन्ड आई फिल privileged to have this opportunity, to provide this opportunity as well.
That's true. And talking about the other side, the men, which men do you find inspiring that are doing their part for women's equality?
यो जेन्डरको इस्युजहरू चाहिँ कहिले काहीँ कस्तो हुन्छ भने इट्स नट अ स्ट्रगल बिट्विन मेन र वुमेनको बिचको झगडा होइन यो. इट्स मोर अबाउट हाम्रो जुन डिप रुटेड भ्याल्यु सिस्टम छ नि. किनभने वुमेन्स डे भनेर एकदमै बिग सेलिब्रेसनै गरेर पनि अक्नोलेजमेन्ट भएर के भएन भने के गर्ने. एकअर्काले सपोर्ट गरेर डेली बेसिसमा जुन गरेपछि नै सक्सेस हुनको लागि चाहिँ त्यो पार्टहरू जरुरी छ होला. सो आई फिल आई हेभ बिन भेरी लकी टु बी सराउन्डेड विथ माई ब्रदर लाइक हु इज अलवेज एकदम फरफ्रन्टमा हुनुहुन्छ. सो यो दुईजनाकै एन्ड देयर आर समटाइम्स इभन वुमेन हु होल्डिङ वुमेन पछाडि होल्ड गर्ने पनि हुन्छ कि. सो आई थिङ्क दुवैजनाको इक्वल पार्ट हुन्छ वुमेन्सको राइटको लागि र अगाडि बढाउनको लागि चाहिँ.
And it's not only women who are abused, there are men also being abused in relationships and everything it can be. That's true. What has been important to you as a daughter, a sister, a life partner, a mother, when you play a role as a daughter, sister.
You know, every role has their has its own challenges. Every role has like, you know, राम्रो कुरा पनि छ जस्तो अहिले नै पनि like, you know, my parents are not here, they are back home in Nepal, but मैले जस्तो जति पनि टिभीमा प्रोग्रामहरू गर्छु, you know, मेरो इमिग्रेसनको सेगमेन्टहरू चल्छ, my parents are the one who are always looking at every program although they are there, हैन, and त्यो सपोर्ट सिस्टम जुन मैले पाएको एभ्री मोमेन्टमा बुवा मम्मीले गर्ने कुराहरू हुन्छ. एन्ड यो अब आई डोन्ट ह्याभ अ डटर, मेरो दुईवटा छोराहरू छन्, तर आई डु ह्याभ निसेस, लाइक सो आई फिल लाइक, यु नो, अहिलेको जेनेरेसनको दे आर सो मच मोर एडभान्स इन टर्म्स अफ नलेजमा पनि, विजडममा पनि. आई फिल लाइक, यु नो, एन्ड ह्याभिङ अ डटर इन द हाउस, इट्स अ ब्युटिफुल थिङ टु, बिकज दे ब्लेन्ड इन द कल्चर, दे ब्रिङ लाइक, यु नो, द्याट स्माइल, द्याट जोय जुन ल्याउँछ नि, इट्स आई थिङ्क लाइक, यु नो, हरेक रोलको इम्पोर्टेन्स आफ्नो ठाउँमा हुन्छ. तर कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ भने कुनै पनि रोलमा अब रिलेसनसिपमा एकअर्कालाई एप्रिसिएट गरेर अगाडि बढ्नु पनि पर्दो रहेछ. हाम्रो नेपालीमा चाहिँ नि माया गर्छु भनेर मात्र होइन, एक्सप्रेसन चाहिँ जब मान्छे हुन्छ त्यो बेलामा एक्सप्रेस गर्न पनि जरुरी छ.
त्यो पनि सही हो कुरा. डु यु बिलिभ इन celebrations like we have like Eid, Gufa and all these ancestry things that we did before the girl could become a big girl? All these, we still continue those traditions. Do you think we should continue in the future?
मलाई चाहिँ आई मिन, यु नो, नथिङ अगेन्स्ट अब कसैको कल्चरल बिलिफ भन्दा अगाडि जान खोजेको होइन, तर मलाई एउटा कुरा चाहिँ, किन गुफा पनि सायद पिरियडसँग सम्बन्धित छ होइन, एडोलेसेन्ससँग पिरियड हुने बेला, मलाई चाहिँ यो कहिले पनि चित्त नबुझ्ने कुरा किन हो भन्दाखेरि जहिले पनि अब हाम्रो लाइक, यु नो, कमिङ फ्रम आवर कल्चर, ब्राह्मण कल्चरमा पनि पिरियड भएको बेलामा चाहिँ छुनुहुन्न भनेर एकदमै धेरै छुट्याउने हुन्थ्यो. अनि आई अलवेज युज टु आर्ग्यु अबाउट दिस के, किनभने यदि त्यो बेलामा आफू भलनरेबल छ, यदि सपोर्ट झन् चाहिन्छ भने त त्यही बेलामा छुन नहुने भन्ने कुरा किन. आई निड टु हेभ अ राइट टु भगवान्सँग प्रे गर्न पाउनु पनि मैले पर्छ भनेर. सो मलाई चाहिँ पिरियड्स भएको बेलामा र छुट्याएर गर्ने कुराहरू आई डोन्ट लाइक इट. लाइक, आई डोन्ट वान्ट टु बी अफेन्सिभ टु एनीबडी हु सेलिब्रेटेड. जस्ट लाइक तिजमा पनि व्रत लिने कुरा मन नपर्न सक्छ, तर मैले अघि भने तिजको बिग कल्चरल पार्ट जुन छ, इट्स मोर अबाउट सेलिब्रेटिङ एन्ड एक्सप्रेसिङ आफ्नो कुरा सेल्फ भयो होइन. सो आई पर्सनली बिलिभ कि त्यो बारेको छुवाछुत त्यो कुराहरू मलाई मन पर्दैन, तर नथिङ अगेन्स्ट कसैको स्पेसिफिक कल्चर.
इट्स जस्ट द वे इट्स सेलिब्रेटेड एन्ड the ancestors, whatever they planned, we still carry out doing those trends today. So that was the question, like it's so what do you think of women having amazing achievements today, of being political, community, business leaders, as well as inventors, entrepreneurs and TV personalities, like Kamala Harris, the first vice president now as a female?
So I mean, of course, you know, it's a big achievement. And अर्को कुरा त के भन्दाखेरि अब साउथ एसियन कति कन्ट्रीमा त पहिल्यै भइसकेको छ नि. आई एम कन्सर्न, आई मिन आई जस्ट फिल द्याट अमेरिकामा अहिले आएर भएको छ, तर यु नो हामीले अब नेपालमै पनि लाइक, यु नो, we have seen this, like, you know, politically women are able to do everything. मेरो हरेक रोलमै भएको नभएको होइन. इट्स नट अबाउट कहिले पनि लाइक वुमेन र मेनको रोल गर्ने बित्तिकै लिमिटेसन छैन. यु नो, इक्वल राइट र इक्वल अपर्च्युनिटी दियो भने, जस्तो इक्वालिटी र इक्विटीको डिफ्रेन्सेसमा इक्वल अपर्च्युनिटी दियो भने त सक्सेस हुन सक्ने जहिले पनि नै छ नि. आई मिन, इट्स ग्ल्याड द्याट यो यहाँ अहिले आएर वुमेन अफ कलर, वुमेन अफ लाइक, यु नो, साउथ एसियन हेरिटेज, कमला ह्यारिसले आएर भाइस प्रेसिडेन्ट यसपाला बनेको छ. तर I think, you know, this country might have been ready a long time before this too, because Hillary K. Palmer pani, we had thought it was very close, होइन. So अहिले एउटा certain women को success मात्र होइन, त्यो successमा पुग्नको लागि there were so many other women who have contributed towards this particular part.
That is so true here. Do you feel that you have advanced in what you wanted to as a woman?
I feel yes. I feel like, you know, from somebody who was born in like, you know, small middle class family, South Asian household ma, I feel that, you know, I have reached to मेरो जुन potential जति पुग्न पर्ने थियो, with so many blessings, so many support, and you know, I think I believe म जहाँ पुग्न सक्थेँ मेरो ड्रिमहरू भन्दा धेरै माथि I've been able to achieve that जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई. Of course, you know, it's not, I'm not saying कि this is the optimum मैले भन्न खोजेको होइन, तर at the same time I feel really thankful and grateful every single day from where I am, because today to be here, मेरो लास्ट कति past to kati dinarma, this was where I wanted to be.
Bandita, thank you so much for sharing the platform on this special day as we talk about International Women's Day.
Thank you so much for giving me this platform. It's an honor to be here and to represent women on the Women's Day, International Women's Day. This day has been very, very important and critical, especially growing back, from back home in Nepal, where we have always cherished and celebrated women's achievement, women's success. But at the same time, sometimes we have, women struggle too. I wish to continue, I wish, I dream and plan for the equality so that everybody achieves the same level of information platform so they can reach to their high potential. And one thing, the only thing that can stop you from achieving your goal is your own inner belief and thought. I wish you a very wonderful day. Thank you.
Once again, thank you so much for sharing your time with Light and Shadow, and happy International Women's Day. No society is complete without women. So please love and respect your mothers, wives, daughters, sisters, mother-in-laws, aunts, and so forth. Until next time, this is Babita signing off. The entire Light and Shadow team and I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Happy International Women's Day. Be yourself, love yourself as you are strong and beautiful. Because when you love yourself, you can love others. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be positive, stay blessed. Namaste. Hi, this is Babita in Kathmandu. Trying to reach out to people and find out about their point of view on International Women's Day. So please join me.
International Women's Day is an occasion for the women all around the world to show their solidarity for the fight against discrimination, for their gender equality and violence against the women all over the world. It's not enough to celebrate one day. It has to be all around the year. 365 days is the Women's Day.
अब नारी भएर त अब दुःख गरेर खाने के गर्ने पुरै गर्न आउँदैन
नारी भइरहेको अन्याय अत्याचार र बलात्कारलाई चाहिँ कमी गरियोस्, नारीहरूलाई सम्मान गर्न सिकियोस् भन्न चाहन्छु।
अहिले यसरी फ्रीली यसो यताउति पाइन्छ त्यही राम्रो छ। सबै नारीहरूलाई सम्मान मिलोस् यही भन्न चाहन्छु।
इक्वल राइट
नारीहरुमा शक्ति हुन्छ, हिम्मत हुन्छ हैन, त्यसलाई नारीहरुलाई कहिले पनि यस्तो कमजोर नसोच्नु हैन, नारीले जे पनि गर्न सक्छ, त्यही भएर नारीहरुलाई सम्मान गर्ने।
आज पनि राम्रो होस् अरु के भन्न त्यति भन्न सक्छ।
भित्री रूपबाट राम्ररी के लगाएर हेर्ने हो भने चाहिँ अब जति हुनुपर्ने हो त्यति चाहिँ अलि छैन कि जस्तो लाग्छ। त्यही भएर त्यस्तै कुरालाई चाहिँ फोकस गरेर नारी दिवसको उपलक्ष्यमा चाहिँ विभिन्न कार्यक्रमहरू गरेर यो कुरा चाहिँ जनता बीच लगेर अब यस्तो हुनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ
लाइक वुमन इम्पावरमेन्ट दे शुड गिवन राइट टु द वुमन लाइक वुमन एजुकेसन, वुमन हेल्थ एजुकेसन।
What I feel is हामी वुमनले नै हैन वुमनलाई सपोर्ट गरेर कलाई अगाडि सक्छौं। सो इट्स अ भेरी गुड डे टु सेलिब्रेट एभ्री वुमन्स आउट हियर। यो चाहिँ एउटा स्पेसिफिक डे अब सबैलाई थ्याङ्क गर्न अब हाम्रो मदर्सहरूलाई, हाम्रो अब सिस्टर्सहरू बाहिर who are working and who are working in the house हैन, एभ्री वुमन्सहरूको सेलिब्रेसन डे जस्तो।
Let's support each other women. Thank you.